Both of these cameras right here shoot in 4K 120 FPS. One is a iPhone 16 Pro Max and the other is a Sony FX3 Cinema Camera used to shoot movies. We'll be putting the two side by side to see which is actually better, the iPhone or the Cinema Camera. Let's do it. We will be putting these two amazing cameras side by side in a series of tests to see which camera is actually the best. Is it actually worth buying a cinema camera in 2025 when we can get the same results from a camera in our pocket? We'll be putting them through a series of 5 different tests that will test them in all sorts of different areas to see which camera actually comes out on top. So in one corner, we have the heavyweight of a handheld camera, the Sony FX3, armed with a full frame R sensor with 15 plus stops of dynamic range and 4K 120 frames per second. This beast is built for filmmakers who demand pro level image quality in a compact form. With 5-axis stabilization and 18-bit raw output, the FX3 is ready to dominate any shoot. On the other hand, we have the iPhone 16 Pro Max. The sleek and smart iPhone 16 Pro Max is equipped with a 48 megapixel ultra wide 5x telephoto zoom lens and the Apple A18 Pro chip driving its AI capabilities. It captures in also 4K 120 FPS and leverages computational photography to deliver incredible results straight from your pocket. This smartphone thinks like a pro. I rented out this whole professional recording studio to compare the iPhone 16 Pro Max to the Sony FX3 camera. So first one we're gonna do is we're gonna be doing a cinematic interview. We'll be using professional lighting to see which camera comes out on top. The things that we'll be assessing is the depth of field and the color rendition and just the overall quality of the image. I will be doing light color correction at the end, nothing insane, to keep the comparison as realistic as possible. Ready to be interviewed?
Yep, let's do it.
Hi, my name is Ben. But here are the results. Leave in the comments how you think the results turned out.
So my channel is called Casey Patisserie. The name is comes from a variety of sources. My name is Catherine and my middle name is Claire. And Claire is my aunt who taught me how to bake. And patisserie is the French word for bakery. Yeah, I've just loved to bake for as long as I can remember. And it gave me a creative outlet, more so than just, I love baking for other people, but I think being able to create something that's my own content and share it with people has been a really exciting adventure for me.
I have a macro lens on the Sony FX3 and we're gonna see which one can make a cooler shot of the eyeball, the iPhone or the FX3. So let's do this. Whoa, okay, ready? Okay, here we go. Okay, now we're gonna do the iPhone real quick. All right, now let's see how that looks in the post. So we just barely recorded the interview section. Heading into our next test, this is more of an action shot. We'll be testing the autofocus tracking, motion blur, and overall stabilization between the two cameras. We're gonna be recording in this little section over here, and my wife, she's a professional dancer basically, and she's gonna be doing some epic dancing for us, and we'll get some cool shots.
I need some music or something, hold on.
Here are the results. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, and moving into our third test, this one will be doing a more low light urban scene and also some low light shots in more of a nature setting. And we'll be testing the noise levels, the dynamic range of the cameras, and also the low light performance in general. All right, as you can see, I have this very expensive rig right here, and we are gonna go do some cityscape shots to see what we can get with both of the cameras right here. Fortunately, my microphone died, so I'm gonna need to just go with this one. I'm on this phone right here, but yeah, let's do this. And for this one, I have the two shots marked as camera A and camera B, and I want you to guess which one is the Sony and which one is the iPhone. Leave them in the comments. right, now we're gonna be doing a little bit to add into our nightscape. We're gonna do a little bit of a sunset shot right here. Look at this beautiful sunset we got going on. Let's do this. It is beautiful out here. Look at this, truly gorgeous. Look off in the distance. All right, and for our fourth test, we're gonna be doing a vlogging test. Obviously, the Sony is not built for vlogging, and the iPhone technically probably isn't either, but it can do it probably a lot easier. This is an overall camera test, and this is something that cameras are used for. So we're gonna be testing the portability of the camera, the ease of use, and the quality for vlogging scenarios. Obviously, like vlogging with the Sony FX3 is like crazy, but it's part of the challenge, so we'll see how it performs. Let's do this. All right, hey, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my vlog. Oh yeah, we're just checking out the landscape here in Utah. It's looking beautiful. We got the Brigham Young University over there. This is definitely an impractical camera to do vlogging on, especially with this lens I have. It's the only one I got for it because they're freaking expensive. So this is kind of impractical, but I'm using the onboard microphones for both of the cameras, which is not normal, but this is the kind of quality you can expect with both of them. I always see random vloggers doing this thing where they just walk by the camera and act like they set it up there or whatever. All right, and for our fifth and final test. All right, so now we're gonna be testing to see how it does with making shorts. A lot of the content creators today just make videos super quickly. I know for me, I make 3 shorts every single day. And so I'm gonna be testing to see if it's even reasonable to use a Sony FX3 to record shorts compared to an iPhone. We'll see how it turns out here. All right, so now I'm gonna be doing what is basically a vertical video shot right here. I'm doing one of the videos that I have done in the past similar, so just try to guess which is the fake. And we're gonna be using the Sony FX3 and then also the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I'm recording on right now. So let's do it. Which is the fake? Both of these are Galaxy S25 Ultras, but one of them costs $100 and the other one costs over $1,000. Can you guess which is the fake? Just by looking at the two. They look super duper similar, but they do have their differences. They both do have S Pens, as you can see right here, but one of them is slightly different than the other and costs way, way less.